YouTube Electric Adventures here with the next one of my retro homebrew updates. Thank you for the support and viewership of last month's. It was very well received, lots of comments, and we have a much bigger episode for you this month. Done a lot more research. Now I've been helped out by a fellow YouTuber and follower. His name is Bjorn Eldrumer. I've trashed your name. From Germany. He's an avid homebrew collector, specifically focusing on NES games, but he's assisted me with the research because there are so many homebrew projects out there. The whole idea of this video series is to get the word out and so more people know about these, so they don't miss out on them. Because there's either pre-orders or Kickstarters. They only run for a limited amount of time, and they don't always necessarily come available for general sale after the Kickstarters. And obviously, pre-orders usually they close, and that's all they make. So I'm very glad that this was well received because I, doing the research myself, I found useful, and I thought other people out there would be interested in it as well. So the only other bit of general news is a friend of mine has made this book called Programming Games for the ColecoVision. Oscar Toledo G. He's quite a active member of the ColecoVision homebrew community. He's made lots of things. Now he's come up with a new thing called ColecoVision Basic, which allows you to write games for the ColecoVision, and he's actually made it cross-system. You can make games for the MSX, the SG-1000, SC-3000, and I've helped him out to also enable it to go across to the Spectrum, the original Spectrum machines. So you can write one program and go across to all those systems, and you can write it in BASIC. And it works quite well and produces quite decent code, and some people have already started producing games for that. So in conjunction with that, Oscar has written a book that teaches you how to program games in BASIC for the ColecoVision, MSX, Sega and Spectrum Video. So check it out. I'll put links down below. Now we actually have quite a lot to cover. I was really surprised at what was out there. I'll also go with competitions again. So the only competition that I know that's running, there might be other competitions out there. Please comment down below, and I'll try and include other competitions next month. So MSX Dev, of course, has started, and there were 4 new entries. Now, the first one is called Whack'em Smack'em Byrons by Jess Creations. Challenge your reflexes with this classic whack-a-mole variant. Now, this is one of the games programmed with ColecoVision Basic, but publishing it for the MSX and entering it in the MSX Dev competition. And I particularly like this entry. The gentleman involved is obviously quite talented with his graphics creation, and it looks very, very nice and very nicely polished. The next entry is called Minus by Jose E. Rabavo. It's a time attack game. A time attack shoot 'em up game of sorts. So once again, I haven't played any of these yet. I'm definitely going to. And your 6th entry is called Chimney Man, drawing inspiration from classic arcade games to test your joystick skills. The graphics look very good indeed. So 3 brand new entries for you to check out. Obviously you can download the ROMs from the MSX Dev website and start playing it on an emulator. Or if you're lucky enough to have an MSX and an SD card, you can try them on those. Now, Kickstarters, and I've added pre-orders to this section as well. So these are the active, these pre-orders. We have P.O. Po for the NES from Limited Run Games. Now, I do want to particularly mention this game. This is actually a game written by Jeremias Babini, who unfortunately has passed away. I think it's about a year ago, or recently, sorry. I haven't put all the exact details down here, but I'll put some links down below. So it'd be really good to support his game, and that way, money can go towards his family. and it's actually a very good. It was working on the homebrew game for a very long time, and it is now being released through limited run games. So definitely worth checking out. And the pre-orders end on July 14th, so you've got plenty of time to go check that one out. Now, Kickstarters that are ending, so these ones you need to get onto fairly soon. So we've got Eldritch Monarch for the Mega Drive Genesis by Bruno Mastrini. So it's a single-player adventure game. A very good cinematic platformer, like harks back to Flashback and games of that ilk. Graphics look very impressive. I'll definitely be checking that one out. Triptych for the NES. I didn't write a lot of notes about that one. I apologise. It is made in NESmaker. Then another game, Steel Legion. The graphics look very nice. So it's a Metroidvania 2D platformer set in a cyberpunk universe. That one ends on July 17th. Rescue Force. So it's by well-known NES hacker Pansack Dave, and ends. You've got plenty of time for this one. August 22nd. So it's a top-down shooter, a bit like Metal Gear. All the controls are much tighter. Once again, all links for these will be down below. Right, coming soon. So for the Game Boy and the NES, we have the Shapeshifter 3. So it's a long-awaited third chapter of the Shapeshifter saga. We have Restless Anima for the NES and Dreamcast, two very diverse platforms, but it's a horror game. Graveyard Dude for the NES, nice action fun game. Project Skiff for the NES, Genesis and PC, so a nice new shooter that looks pretty good. Bloodshed, the 5 Clans of Tresiba for the NES, a new top-down RPG. Looks very, very well thought through. Lethal Wedding for Mega Drive and Genesis. That's by Mega Cat Studios. They've been very busy. Say I Do Bullets and Blood in this top-down RPG shooter. So it's so nice to see all these games supporting the Mega Drive and Genesis. And another Kickstarter upcoming is ZPF, a brand new shoot 'em up for the Sega Mega Drive. So lots of shoot 'em ups coming for the Mega Drive and Kickstarter. Now we have a new section. This is called Buy Now. So these are games that are readily available that I haven't necessarily mentioned before. Over OBJ, so a bullet hell shooter, a Japanese Famicom homebrew, really well worth checking out for shoot 'em up lovers. Deanna Cave Adventure. This one's for the Sega Master System, which doesn't get enough love. So, and it's by I know these guys quite well, but Honoric Factor. They're definitely looking cross-platform. Future Fighter for those VIC-20 gamers out there from Mika Keranen. Blast Arena for the Sega Master System by Bad Computer. That is a free download, so you can download and play that on a Master System emulator, or pop it on burn your own ROM and play it on a system. And by the same developer, I'm not sure what order these were released in, is Vortexion, another really good shooter. So the first Blast Arena is a vertical scrolling shooter, Vortexion is a horizontal scrolling shooter. Also a free download, so a couple of free games there. We have from my mates at Collectivision, we have Jester for the NES and the SNES. That's available from Mega Cat Studios. Data Man for the NES is available from Broke Studio in France. Soko Biana. Now, this is a game that's been long in the making. It's a NESmaker game. It had a Kickstarter campaign that ended years ago, but the game is finally finished, and they're accepting, just general orders now. Has been a long one, that one. So in development, we've got lots of different systems here to cover. So, Lunar Lancer on the Game Boy by Jonas Fishbash. Changeable Guardian Estique. This by Cat Huey Trading for the Famicom and NES. Absolutely fantastic graphics on the NES and Famicom. True Galactic Mission for the Mega Drive Genesis. For Atari XE, XL and 5200 users from Jimmy99, we have Galagish. So there was a version of a Galaga port for the C64 last year that was really good. This looks even better than that, so from the learnings of that, person's gone on and done a bit more, and the Ataris are just that little bit faster than the Commodore, so I'm interested to see how this one turns out. We have Metal Cancer for the Famicom, in Motcon Komani, another shooter, lots of shooters coming. For Amiga 500 people out there, we have a really good looking port of Flying Shark. It's one of the Topan vertical scrolling shooters in the Shark series. I actually really like that game. I have an arcade PCB, unfortunately not working at the moment. Well, that's my Magnus T, JMD and John Tsakaris. I'm really mangling names today. Right, also from our mates at Honoric Factor, we have Altar's Lair, a dungeon crawler for the Atari 2600 that looks quite detailed. Banana Bash, Suri Kani Panic. There's a link to a YouTube video. There's a crowdfund campaign later this year.
Check it out.
By the way, Siri jumped in then. Don't have your phone near you when you're recording videos. Right, Former Dawn for the NES. Now, Orange Island, there's going to be a PC Mac game, but there's also going to be a NES port by Langell Bookbinder. Now, it was a Kickstarter that has finished, but they're accepting pre-orders for the game. I believe it's still under construction, though. Humano, a Game Boy. Once again, Kickstarter campaign is over, but pre-orders are possible. Darkwing Duck 2. So this gentleman has taken Darkwing Duck and basically coded up a sequel. Interesting to see whether that one is able to stay up because of copyright, but we'll see what happens. Project Borscht. No official title for the game, but long-term development. Franken Graphics worked on Project Blue before it's currently working on Helicon. So Helicon and Borscht, Project Borscht, are my last two. Now, that's a lot of things. Obviously, I'll have some pictures and footage up here as I've talked through these. Go check them all out. Support the homebrew authors. Play the demos. Comment on their videos. Give them feedback. Feedback is always welcome from personally as a homebrew developer. You play the game all the time and you miss all sorts of things, and sometimes somebody could have a good idea to make the game better. And support the ones that are out. It takes a lot of hours to program these games, not just by one person too, so quite often there are teams of people that have spent hours and hours and hours working on these games for your entertainment. Go check them out and give them support. And yes, I'll be continuing this series. If anybody else has any other things for other systems, any retro system is valid in my mind. Up to even, as I said, friends of mine on a Sega Saturn group said, "What about Sega Saturn?" Well, let's find some Sega Saturn projects out there and see what's coming. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed this next video in the series. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.